Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Just Because, which is on episode 9. Now, this episode right here was actually pretty cool, not too bad. It is what it is. And with so many things building up, especially from the beginning of the series up until now, I really do see where people are coming from. I really do. I'll get to that just a moment, but if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that, Morikawa comes to school in a different style of fashion with her haircut or maybe her hair down and a new coat. And apparently I think one of Soma's friends are complaining about university exams or something. And he ends up realizing that one of Soma's friends, oh my gosh, one of Soma's friends is actually, am I supposed to be in love with her or something? I'm thinking in my mind, can you shut the hell up, man? Some characters that have no freaking impact in this series tend to annoy me a bit, especially when he thinks he's in love with Morikawa, which I just want to slap the living hell out of him. Sorry, I think I'm just raging on because I already have a bad moment in a certain game I played on my iPad. But not only that, I think this episode kind of raged me on a little bit further, but not too much. But if anything else, let's go. Let's continue off where we have to it that Morikawa's appearance was pretty good and Soma's friends is being a freaking yappity yap, and he ends up having to text Eita about it or Izumi about it. But of course Izumi says I knew that from the start, and we have to it that Haruto asks Izumi why didn't you tell me? I'm like, I just wanted to see your reaction, and of course he couldn't text back because he got caught. As for Komiya, she ends up having to avoid Izumi, maybe because of what she said last time. As for Natsume, she does talk to Morikawa after school, after she talked to a professor, getting her shoes, etc. We have to it that, Izumi and Komiya are meeting up again when they were going home, and I'll understand what's with them avoiding each other, but I also see a scene where, Natsume is actually trying to go for a different university after all, and it's Joe University, surprisingly. Joe University. Yeah, you got me right, it's Joe. Which is something I've forgotten that, if I remember correctly, Izumi got a recommendation to that school, which is a cool thing. But we also see to it that when she did the problems, she apparently realizes that they are similar, and she got a C at most average on it. We had to it that Eita himself decided to go out for a run after he did his test prep questions for the Susan exam, and he pretty much got almost every single one of them correct and barely got any wrong. We had to it that when it comes to Valentine's Fair, that Komiya asked him when he was on a run, got him some tea, and Eita decides to get her something back. We had to it that let me see here. Komiya, on the other hand, has some things of maybe getting some chocolate for Izumi or something. As for Haruto, he gets visited by Morikawa and her friend, Yoriko, apparently, to see him go play baseball. And of course, Morikawa's little brothers decide to come and play around too. We had to it that Soma compliments on Morikawa's appearance, etc. And I think he just left after that to go play. I'm thinking in my mind, one idiot. We have to it that Komiya is trying to figure out what kind of chocolate to get for Izumi for Valentine's. And as for Natsume, she decides to go to a store to maybe go grab a couple things. And she looks at the Valentine's chocolate, maybe who to give possibly. And we do see a conversation between Morikawa and Natsume before the scene when Natsume was at a store picking up maybe something at a convenience store. That she did have a conversation with Morikawa about what to do for the future, etc. Of course, Morikawa herself wants to help out her family very much, which is pretty cool when she lived on the farm or something. But she wants to go to college to maybe what it's like to live on her own, and she's kind of fearful about being an adult too soon. But I can see where she's coming from. But as for Natsume, I remember when she talked about what she doesn't know what to do anymore, while of course, Morikawa does ask Natsume a question, and this does go to the convenience store, how Mio or Natsumi responded to Morikawa's question, like, did she have feelings for Soma? She eventually said that she did, but she moved out from it because it was just one-sided. Like, first love, one-sided, but I didn't think of any of it. And I'm just satisfied with how it is, because if anything else, I already have someone I like already. And I think that had to be Izumi. Of course, we had to it that Natsumi does get picked up from her sister, and she decides to go for a different university. She even told her sister that. She says, that's good. And of course, for Eita, of course, he's still taking the exam for Suzuin, of course, for the hell of it, you know? Maybe to go to the same college as Natsumi, but he does not know that Natsumi switched her choices, which is really ridiculous. I'm thinking in my mind, Eita, I understand you're really stupid and ignorant. Well, not stupid. Maybe he's ignorant because he doesn't know a lot of things, which really upsets me because it's not that hard to maybe go up to Natsumi and ask her what's up. If he does not do that, maybe I just want to slap some sense out of him, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just like, I think I had a very bad day with a freaking mobile game I was playing on, and I kind of raged on with it because that boss was just annoying me. And as for the episode alone, there were some annoying moments here and there, but the scene between Mio and Morikawa was actually pretty sweet, along with some scenes with Komiya and Eita, of course, in a certain way. Too bad Izumi does not understand a damn thing about relationships and dates, etc., which is really to my frustration, because this guy got a recommendation to Joe University, or a university, if I remember correctly. Hopefully I got the right one correct. But he does not know a damn thing about certain things in life, especially when it's the simplest ones. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. I can't blame him for it, but still, it's not that hard. You can't be too ignorant or pure or innocent about some of these things. But aside from that, it was a pretty sweet episode, not too bad. Although there were some annoying moments like Soma's friends, or Haruto's friends, honestly. But that's about it. Maybe some nice scenes with Mio changing her university choice, which really sucks, but nah. Aside from that, we're gonna have to see where this goes from here on out. I mean, like, I will say this for sure. I know where people are coming from with Natsume and Komiya-san all the time. Not a single time, it's not a single day or every other day that I do not think about what you guys are thinking. I know where you guys are coming from. I won't deny that. I know where you guys are coming from, but it is what it is. I mean, accept the result, etc. I mean, like, whatever happens, happens. And literally, I could see Komiya-san going for Valentine's chocolate for Izumi, and maybe Mio might do the same. Who knows? But yeah. I apologize if I kind of stuttered a bit or mumbled a bit. I mean, it's just my voice is a little out. I'm kind of raging on a bit, and yeah, I just had somewhat of a bad startup day with the stupid game I play. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!